So what is up everyone? I want to give you a short little update on why the server isn't progressing as I like it to be. I have ordered a lot of parts and a lot of them come directly from China, and shipping times to Germany is around 1 month. Sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more, so I'm waiting for a lot of parts to arrive. What I want to show you in this video is the hardware for the server, the main parts that I have at the moment and that will be used in there. All the main components are here, so I'm just missing on a lot of stuff, a lot of cables and stuff. If you've watched my videos, you will recognize this and those components. I have done a component gear port in which I featured all of them. But I thought that it might be quite handy to explain a little about those components and why I've chosen them. Okay, the main point in here is the motherboard, which I chose. It is a BioStar GF8100 M2 Plus SE. It supports CPU socket types AM2 Plus and AM2. So the CPU types it supports is the Phenom, the Athlon 64X2, the Athlon 64 and the Sempron processor. It has an FSB speed of 2600 MHz. It has a graphical chip set on here as well, which you can see on here. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's down under here. I'm sorry. And that's the GeForce 8100. It supports the DDR2 memory standard 1066, and the maximum supported memory is 8 GB. It also does support dual channel as well. So what I bought for this motherboard are those two 4 GB DDR2 800 MHz DDR2 memory sticks. You insert them here on the side. Like so. Yes, like so. So this motherboard is spec'd out with the maximum capacity of memory. Now let's come to the expansion slots, which you can see over here. It has this one is a PCI Express slot, which we will be using for the network attachment, and then we have two PCI slots. At the moment we won't be using them. For this for storage attachment we have an ATA 100 slot, which can support up to 2 different devices. And we have 4 SATA 3 GB per second ports. Those will be the main connection to our hard drives, but I will show you that later. Yes, let's have a look at the ports. So now I've corrected the focus a little bit. So now we can have a look at on the ports we have on this device. Over here we have the PS2 connectors for the keyboard and the mice. We have an VGA port over there for connecting the monitor, or you can put a monitor onto your DVI port. Those two ports are connected via the GeForce 8100 graphics chip, but we won't use a monitor, so those are going to stay empty. We have a total of 4 USB 2.0 ports, 10 100 Ethernet port, and a 3-way audio interface as well. Because this is just a 10-100 port and not a gigabit port, I had to purchase an expansion card, because I want to have a gigabit connection to my server, and I'm going to show you that now. There you go. This is the card. It was quite cheap, it cost something around 10 euros. It is really nice. It has 2 gigabit ports, and it goes into the PCI Express port. Another nice feature of this card, which I looked forward to, was the small bracket. You can, for normal PCs you will buy one with a huge bracket, but we want to have everything as small as possible in this build, and so I choose the little one. So let's have a look at the focus. There you go. Up here, this is the PCI Express port. You plug this card in like so. What I haven't told you is the CPU of this processor, of this motherboard. The CPU under this Alpine 64 GT fan is an AMD Athlon 64X2 5000 Plus. So it is a dual core, and it supports 64-bit computing. The processor socket is the AM2. It has a clock speed of 2.6 GHz, and the cache level 1 size is 265 kilobit. The architecture features are AMD 64 technology and hypertransport. it is one processor but with 2 cores. It is based on the 90 nanometer manufacturing process, and it has an installed cache memory of 1 megabyte. So, last but not least, I want to tell you something about this product. Let's have a look, just to get it in focus. There you go. This is quite an unusual product. You won't find a lot of details about it, so I'm going to... let's go a little bit down. There you go. So I'm going to say a little bit about it. This is an hardware RAID controller called the Davi Control. There you have it. Davi Control DC 7515 DC. It is quite a neat little device and quite cheap as well. It has quite a good price factor considering the stuff this device can do. So now let's talk about this device a little bit. What you can see here are 6 SATA ports. They are labeled a little bit different, so you have the host, you have A, you have the down one is B, the up one is C, then D and E SATA port. So this device functions like that. You take a SATA cable from the host motherboard to this host plug, and from there on the controller takes over the control of 5 SATA ports. So you can use RAID 5 on this device. It supports as well RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 10 and RAID 3. But I will be using it on RAID 5 because that is the most convenient thing to do. So this device can control 5 drives over the SATA ports in RAID 5. So my Xserve RAID has 14 drives, so I will be having to buy 3 of those cards when using all of the cartridges and drive base. But at the moment I will start with just the one, and I will expand it as my needs are. This is quite a neat little device. On here you see those switches. There you can set your RAID level. At the moment it is set on RAID 5, but you can change that by just sliding them about. You have LED indication lights on front. Yes, and it is just a 2.5 inch compatible drive. So the next thing to show you is my power supply that I've acquired. I've bought this used. It is an 80 plus certified power supply from Be Quiet, which has 430 watts output, and this will be powering all of the drives, all of the motherboard, the controller units, and the fans as well. It was really cheap. It was something like 7 or 8 euros for a brand new unit in perfect working condition. So last but not least, let's have a look at cooling. Cooling in a RAID enclosure is quite a difficult but really necessary part. You have to really think about how you cool your system, and especially the drives, so that they won't overheat. They have to stay as cool as possible. That will increase the lifespan of those drives by a lot. So what I have here are 5 Arctic F12 fans. They are, as long as you don't push them up to the limit, they are completely silent. I run about 4 of them in my main PC, which is an Hackintosh build. They push a lot of air and they produce no noise whatsoever. About the noise, I'm not so sure about the fan on my on the motherboard. I'm not sure on how loud this one is. I hope it is barely hearable, because then the RAID enclosure might be really silent. But we will see. Those fans are, and they push a lot of air. So the only main sound source in this system will be the drives. But we will have a look on how we will get on with this build. What I have here next to it is a 4-way controller. It is quite cheap. It comes from China, costs something like $3 or something like that. I know I have 5 fans over here and just 4 controller over there. I have a second one of these, and I also have more of those fans. So if I see the necessity to do more of them in there, then I can, but we will see. The next thing I want to show you is a little bit of how I plan to have those things in there. So this will be something that I want to address to you next.